Tuesday's the longest day. It's got me feeling down, but I turn on my radio.
Good morning, OKN.
Listen to Good Morning
8:34. Happy Tuesday to you. You know, you might be in it. This is like I feel like we're on like a PI investigation right now.
I feel like we're in a therapy session right now.
We are finding out the drama within the relationship.
Oh, man.
It's unfortunate. It happens. Divorce happens. Sometimes, though, you can plan before you get married as well to not end up in a huge fight. Is it a weird conversation to talk about prenups with people? Like when they come in, do you suggest it, Terri, or do people like come in asking about prenups?
Both. But if I talk with somebody and they're in the process of getting married or contemplating marriage, I always tell them, think about this. When you're engaged, you're only thinking happy thoughts. And if you have great Aunt Edna's, $1 million condo and your partner says, of course that's yours. I'll never ask for that property. And then 15 years down the road, all of a sudden, it's joint property. I get half of that. So it's easier to talk about these things when everybody likes one another. It's far more difficult when you're no longer happy. Let's just put it that way.
Terri Gelwicks of McIntosh Law Firm, McIntoshlawfirm.com, located in Davidson. Bob has put together a phenomenal team of a variety of attorneys that can service you in your legal needs, many different sectors, one of those being family law. Terri, tell your background. How did you get into, when did you decide you wanted to be an attorney?
When I was 12. Strangely enough, my history is that my mother was married to Luther Perkins, who was the lead guitarist for Johnny Cash.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And they separated and divorced. And when I was in middle school, there was a lawsuit against Mr. Cash for back royalties. I was exposed to all of the litigation process. I got to meet some of the very high-power attorneys that were involved representing Mr. Cash, Watergate attorneys, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. I think I want to do this. And I combined that with my idea that I was going to save the world and save children. And so I decided to do international adoption, which I did for a number of years. And then it sort of branched out from there. So I'm at year 29 right now.
Year 29, and you said it was year 5 with McIntosh Law Firm?
Yes, year 5 with McIntosh.
What would you say, if I know I'm putting you on the spot on this one, what would you say at all is unique about McIntosh Law Firm and the way you guys work as a team and what you've experienced during your time there?
We are very different, very specialty firm that has multiple different areas, but we do work together as a team. Bob has a phenomenal ability to put together different personalities, and we all work together well. So.
And your area of expertise, we'll say, is family law now.
Yes.
And so helping people process before, during, and after marriage,
And
is that?
Before, during, after. I also do adoptions. I do a number of areas, and it's amazing how it sort of spreads out into other areas, which include property law, which include business law, which include a number of other areas, estates, just amazing things that you get exposed to. I would say year 29, every single week I learn something new. Every single week there's something that I have never encountered before. Frequently my jaw drops, but I guess it keeps it new.
All right, let's talk about then, what is it? Don'ts before I do, or don't before I do? What do we got going on here?
So this is June. This is the wedding month.
That's what I heard. We're in the wedding season.
We are in the wedding
right
season,
now.
yeah.
That's why I chose this subject matter, is that, when you think about the wedding season, you think about all of the wonderful things for weddings and all of that. But I usually tell people, hey, before you do this, take some time and think about some things that will help you later on. And as I mentioned before, frequently people will, in the midst of the mushy phase of a relationship, you wouldn't dream of taking your spouse's great Aunt Edna's, property, or if you buy a house jointly and you decide later on, one of you spends a lot of money on the down payment and the other one says, hey, I'll catch you on the flip side with that. And then suddenly 15, 20 years down the line, you don't get any of that money back. It's a joint property. You split it 50-50 and the love, honor, obey, all of that fun stuff, that's out the window and it's 50-50 and you lose a lot of that property that used to be yours or sadly could have been in your family for years and years. And
the dads must love you. Because I think about like my daughter, right? Like she's 4 right now. So it's like, I don't have to really work in this moment.
You start writing her prenup right now.
But
Do you do that for 4-year-olds?
I got somebody I'm calling, man. We need to sit down and talk about this. I have someone who's going to join the conversation. That's what I get to say down the road. So, all right. So what about the concept of, okay, let's say you get married. Mm-hmm. Let's say then at that point, a couple maybe decides, hey, we want to set some things in place. Is that allowed?
Absolutely. So you have what's called a prenuptial, which is what you do before. That doesn't mean the minute you say I do, all of a sudden it's hostile. No, frequently you're still on the same page. That usually, hostilities don't come in until much later, usually. And so you have what's called a postnuptial, where, now I do those all the time as well, where people will say, oh my gosh, things were so crazy. We didn't have the chance to put together an agreement, or this has arisen now. This wasn't an issue when we got married. Let's say an inheritance. Somebody inherits a lot of money. They want to contribute towards property, but they want to make sure they get it back if something were to happen. And so postnuptials are maybe not just as common, but fairly common. And so I
would imagine, you mentioned the team concept of McIntosh law. This has to cross over into estates, probably back and forth all the time.
All the time. Back and forth. I get that a lot, and I work a lot with our estate department, and very, very fortunate. And so I usually tell them, hey, look, I don't do dead people very well, so I'll let you guys do that, but I'll do the yucky divorce stuff.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, much like wills and estates, we've had them on and say it's an uncomfortable conversation. It feels like it can be, but you make it easy for someone when they come in, right?
I try to. And it's hard because you come across being cynical, but we love one another. We're just, and I'm like, I understand you do, but here's some things you should think about. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in a restaurant or out in public and I'll hear somebody say, oh yeah, Bob and I, we're planning on getting married in a year. We're going to go ahead and buy a house together. And I want to run over to them and go, no, don't do that until you make sure you have everything in writing. You have to be quiet and mind my own business. But, you don't want to be cynical, but you do want to make sure that people understand that there's some pretty significant risks that if you just protect yourself this much, then you're going to be far better off down the road.
Especially when you're involving kids in the scenario too, maybe from previous relationships. Right. And so there's just certain things, right, that you just want to make sure that you have at least a conversation about. And that's got to be hard sometimes, Terri.
Well, I would say, a lot of people think that prenups are for the rich, and the people with lots of money and Kardashians and people like that. When really most of my clients, many of them are on their second, third marriage. They have adult children sometimes, or children from a prior relationship, and they have some assets, not a lot, but it's all they have in the world. And they want to make sure that their kids are protected, their retirement funds are protected, things like that. And it also helps the relationship between the children, the adult children, and the new spouse, because there's not as much animosity. Oh, you just came in to take mom's, money. And so it's a really good way to ease everybody into a sense of security that, okay, this is a good relationship for mom, dad, whichever, and we can go forward.
Terri Gelwicks of McIntosh Law Firm, McIntoshLawFirm.com, located in Davidson, a team of legal experts that can help you no matter what your needs are. Terri, obviously knowing family law very, very well. We didn't even talk about adoption today. Next time we'll have to talk
Yes,
about adoption.
come back
That's
and
gotta
talk
be-
about adoption.
Absolutely. Thank you, Terri. Thank you, McIntosh Law Firm, also for being the presenting sponsor of Community Centered, a wonderful show that airs every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m., focusing on the nonprofits throughout the Lake Norman region. A wonderful ability to showcase and share what's going on. And so we're grateful for them. Check out McIntosh Law Firm if you have a legal need. Terri, family law. Got it.
Appreciate it.